Try is undoubtedly one of the hottest prospects in the world. Coming in at only 17 years of age, the Argentine AWPer has been getting everyone west of the Atlantic excited for quite a while now. 9Z are absolutely smashing competition in South America, which admittedly isn't that hot. Thankfully, they also took a little road trip to Europe, where they competed against some of the world's better sides. The team had some struggles, but Try showed he was definitely worth the hype, and maybe even worthy of a roster move. I'm sorry, there's no suspense there, we know the move happened, he's not on 9Z anymore. I wrote this before that stuff went down. I actually wrote this in 2021, but it's fine, things happen. Let's push on. I am KingT, he is Try, and this is Prospects. Try, like every up-and-coming AWPer it seems, has wrists made of something different. Probably a bunch of elastic bands. He makes crazy flicks happen, and of course, that generates a lot of excitement. But what makes him really so interesting as a player isn't just his flicks. It's the fact that he rarely has to use them. Try's pre-aims are sensational, meaning he rarely has to flick very far for his kills, and he can make more than one happen rather comfortably. Combine that with Try's tendency to scope very early into his sort of progression, into what he's doing, his movement, and it's like watching a wily veteran, not a youngster with endless potential who still wants to prove that he's worth a shot. He plays quite smart. Now this crosshair placement does extend to his pistol play, where he puts together round after round of really aesthetically pleasing highlights. Playing Counter-Strike is simple, but playing simple Counter-Strike is the most difficult thing there is, and Try does it magnificently. Try's poise isn't really something that just looks great, it also produces actual results. In clutches, he rarely seems flustered, and has delivered a good number of them for the South American squad that he used to be on. Extend this to just high stress scenarios in general, and you can begin to see why Try was able to have such quality showings against far tougher opposition. On the defending side, Try plays in a very traditional and stable way. He has his default positions that he'll go to almost every map, or every round of every map, but also throws in a good number of opening picks and positions to keep from getting predictable. This is a great example on Mirage, where he mostly plays out of window, but changes it up on several occasions. Try attempts picks from B apartments, A site, and even goes for a short jump. Now this diversity forces the T side to go passive early, or expend utility clearing him off every potential corner. When you throw in the occasional forward move he makes beyond just a regular opening pick, Try has enough tricks up his sleeve to keep any opponent guessing. But it doesn't stop there. Even when Try is neutralized by utility, his attempts to find those openings actually doesn't really stop. Going back to the Mirage example, one of his B repositions came off the back of a window being smoked, denying him that info. His rotation is swift, pre-scoping it boosted into the apartments angle, making sure he has the best possible chance to win a potential fight. Now this round on Vertigo against Mousesports pretty perfectly summarizes a lot of the things that are so awesome about Try's CT play, and his, well, playstyle in general. He goes for a mid pick, holding a very committal and narrow line, probably expecting a slower peak. Rops gets a flash from his teammate and crosses fast, denying Try a clean shot. Now instead of panicking and going for the wallbang shot, Try actually holds the angle for a few fractions of a second later, allowing Rops to cross back into his crosshair, a little slower, allowing him to land the easy kill. He immediately rotates away, using slick movement to, throw in some style points, but also to avoid getting traded. This also creates an absolute racket, so the T side know he's rotating. Arriving at the back of A, he scopes and stops bunny hopping like a maniac. That's the last sound cue. The T side at the bottom of ramp could potentially hear. From this point forward, he shift walks his way all the way up through sight and along to yellow to hold that angle short. And there he sits and he waits for his prey, Now he hears Frozen throw this molly, and it goes behind him, so he extends a little forward to try and pick off that Slovak monster. Frozen's movement causes the first shot to miss, but Try makes no mistake on the second, and gives 9Z a 2-man advantage, having taken out both of Mousesport's superstar riflers. See, this is what is so great. It's not just the opening gambits, the opening variety, it's that willingness to immediately go make another play, to do it in such a smart way as well, giving all that info and then cutting it off the moment it matters, leaving the T's to think, hey, there's an AWP at the back of A site, one smoke and he's dealt with. Instead, he's in their face, gets that other pick, and makes the round almost unlosable. Now for the attacking side, which is usually the tougher side for younger, up-and-coming AWPers. Now Try actually did spend a large amount of his time rifling whilst in Europe, only AWPing in select rounds and on select maps, it felt like. However, no matter the weaponry, Try's a versatile and adept pack player on the T side. Not going for solo picks very often, but definitely doing a great job of working the map with his team. He'll accompany his rifles on a long overpass take, supporting their forward motion and being constantly ready to take on a CT challenge. When a CT challenger does come along, he's a competent trader and can use his exemplary patience to do a decent job of lurking around post-engagement and catch out the occasional superstar. The purpose of having Try as one of the pack players is to give him as many opportunities to utilise his elastic wrists in close to medium range engagements. When he's in these spots and he's taking on multiple opponents, this is where Try's T-side AWPing really shines. This combination of ability and intelligence make him an invaluable asset in the mid to late rounds. Take this round against Wisla Krakow, where Try is able to pick up frags pre and post plant in order to bring the round home for 9Z. There are a lot of things to love in Try's demos. His AWPing can be absolutely electrifying, as much as it can be measured and calming. With pistols, he is one of my favourite players to watch already, especially when he's dropped that T-side P250. Make sure that continues in 0-0 Nation because, man, that shit is electric. Some of the traits he displays are already reminiscent of some of the world's more meticulous AWPers, scoping in early, staying calm, and guaranteeing himself the best possible chance to win certain duels. That being said, when push comes to shove and tries to pull out the flashy stuff, he can pop off like the best of them. So what remains to be worked on? His AK gets a lot of work, but it doesn't quite feel natural yet. In stark contrast to his AWPing and his pistol play, the crosshair placement gets a little sloppy, doesn't feel as well rehearsed and as well coordinated, you know, left hand to right hand. There's something not quite right there that bugged me on his AK play. Like, he had the pream's a little low sometimes, doesn't flow as nicely angle to angle. His AK play isn't the most important part of it, and mechanics wise, he can offset that sort of deficit using his intellect and using the way he plays with his teammates to just maximize his opportunities and not have to be perfect. Overall, Try's mechanics are for the most part impeccable, especially where it counts, pistols and AWPing, and he has a combination of skill and intangibles that make him one of the game's true rising stars. Alright, thank you for watching the video. Sorry it's been so long since the last prospects. I had bigger plans for this video, but they kind of fell through over the course of December and early January, so couldn't quite do what I wanted to do, so we ended up making a standard episode, just with a bit more of a delay than I'd have hoped. Apologies for that. Plenty more coming though, especially more just general analysis content. Tell me your thoughts on Try in the comments, and remember to sub if you want to see more of this type of content. Try and make as much as possible. Well, that's all for this one. Goodbye.